Alright, it's my first video trying to learn how to grade cards. Mainly baseball cards, but I'd like to learn, of course, all cards. First thing, they comes all curved like that sometimes. So I really don't know how to fix that. So I was looking at this one, Tony Bernazard. So I don't know, I have to look up the curve problem. So the first thing I want to do, I have this centering tool, and apparently on the front 60-40 or better is a PSA10. So if I look on, if I try to interpret this centering tool, looks like on the left side it's a 3, and basically on the right side it's a 3. If I look at the top is basically a 3, but the bottom is, looks like more like a 2. But according to the guide, a 3-2 is considered 60-40, so that would be acceptable. I believe the tolerances are different on the back. I think they're more generous. So imagine this one, the centering is not going to be an issue. So, but I noticed on this one, it has other problems. It has this blemish right here, which is not acceptable. So this would not be a PSA10. The other thing we look for is sharp corners, and then also nicks, which I would have to use something like this. But I noticed the different types of cards, the nicks show up differently. Like this one, I was very disappointed because the centering was okay, but I noticed there's a small nick. I don't know if you can kind of see it there. Probably need to take it out of its sleeve. But from what I understand, that would keep it from being a PSA10, which is unfortunate because this would be my most valuable card, I think, if it wasn't a 10, but it's not. Then I noticed on the back here, the centering's okay, but I noticed it actually, it might not be. This bottom part, I don't know if it's designed to be that way or not. If I look at, say, another one, this one has a huge gum stain, of course, so that's a problem. And we see that it's kind of the same thing. It's small on the top and bigger on the bottom. So maybe that's okay. So I'm still holding out hope on this Nolan Ryan. I'd have to take it out of its sleeve, which I don't know if I want to do. I have some gloves I can use, but I really hate even touching it and taking it out of its sleeve, but I'm not sure how to grade it otherwise. So I don't know if this is something I should do or not, but let's see. Man. So now we got that case off. It's not throwing a glare. And I don't think this light, I don't know if the light's gonna help or not. Well, so that's not, so you can kind of see up here on the top. Right up here, I see some smudges. So I don't know about this card. And there's something right here. From what I've been reading, the standards are very rigorous to make it a PSA 10, which is why they're so valuable. And really, there's no point in messing with them generally if they're not a PSA 10. At least for the last, from what I've been researching. But I'm very new and still learning. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just learning as I go. But I almost would like to send this one in and just hope, but it's not free. I mean, it's not exorbitant, but it's not free. Depends on the options, but maybe 50 or 60 bucks. And it would take, I think they said it would take 90 days to grade it. And so we have this issue up here. And so, like, if it wasn't for that black part at the top, you wouldn't maybe not even be able to see that nick. But imagine they have magnifying tools that so I can see it on the white. I can see some other nicks. I mean, I just don't understand how a card is ever PSA 10. But that's the videos I'm going to be posting, is me trying to find one. And we'll see if we get any views, and I would welcome any comments, because I'm trying to learn how this works. It's fun. I've enjoyed baseball cards since I was a little kid, like most kids. So I've kind of gotten back into it, hoping, but I'm finding out quickly it's something more of a hobby and not very lucrative. But I have learned that you're not supposed to just place it directly in. Oh, sorry about that. You're not supposed to place it directly into the hard case. I forgot what the word is for that. But you're supposed to place it into one of these soft cases first. Then once it's in one of these, oh boy. Once it's in one of these, and it's ready to be put into, what they call them, top loaders, I think. So that's in there. So now I can try to put it in here. There we go. So that's the way you're supposed to do it. But I'm not very optimistic about this card. But I'd love to go through the cards that I have. A lot of cards from the 80s, which is generally what I've been collecting. I've just been enjoying buying packs, unopened packs, and opening them. And I've been recording all of those. So this guy, I mean, it's a little bent up. I don't know if that's an issue. And there's a huge gum stain on the back, so that's a big no. So I don't even know if there's any point in proceeding with him. We'll just set him aside. That's a no. Tony Bernazard, I think I already tried him. He had this big stain on the back. We got Tom Filer. So I imagine the best way to eliminate options is just immediately to look for blemishes. So this is Tom Filer. Played for the Blue Jays. So I'm nervous in handling these because just like the way I just turned it, the corner kind of hit up against my hand. So I'd like to practice on these ones that probably have no value, very little value because of that, and try to learn how to handle these. Maybe it's best not to. Basically, I want to learn how to know if I should even send something in for grading. That's what I want to learn. So this one isn't bad. I don't see a whole lot of blemishes here on the back. The borders seem okay. Let me check the border on the front. Try to line that up like that. And that puts a glare. Let's see. So we put that on there like that, and then we just read the measurements, which I think you can pretty much eyeball and see if there's going to be a problem. So this one looks like a 3 on the right side and a 2 on the left. The bottom, I don't know how. Supposed to. I can't see it very well. So like at the top, what is that? I think it's a 2. Bottom, we have a oh gosh, no, it's a 4. 4. So what's a 3, 4? 4, 3. 4, 3 is 57, 43. I've been looking at this little guide here. So if something's a 4, 3, we see it's 57, 43. I think what we're looking for is, and so a 4, 3 would indicate a 57, 43 ratio, which is below 60, 40. Apparently it must be 60, 40. So, I don't know if I'm even looking at that right. I really don't. Because you need the extra space at the bottom for the name that you don't need at the top. So that's the question. Same question is on the back. How do you determine if it's if the border's like that by design, or if it's off center? Because every one of these I've looked at so far, the bottom is kind of, let's see, like this one, there's more space at the top. So does that mean that one's off? That's just the question I need to find the answer to. So maybe I need to do a little more research, get the sound turned off on my computer so it's not dinging very loudly. But this is a very enjoyable little hobby. It's not very expensive. I bought some of these. I bought a little kit here, sports card HQ. It came with this. I had to put some batteries in it. Basically, it kind of, see if I can show you what it does here. So it kind of does that sort of thing. So you can set it down and examine the quality of the card. It also came with this little thing, sort of like a jeweler's eyepiece. It's called a jeweler's loop. A jeweler's loop. Triplet. So it came with that. It came with this little guide for centering percentages. 2 different guides. I don't know what the difference is. I mean, it looks like the same information. Oh, and here, very handy. the back they give the PSA card grading standards. So Jim meant 10. The image must be centered on the card within a tolerance not to exceed approximately 55 to 45 to 60-40% on the front and 75-25% on the reverse. So the reverse is much more generous. So this is just the grade for the centering standards. From what I was reading, the other ones seem to be sharp corners, no blemishes, and no nicks. So it came with 2 different centering tools. I don't know what the difference is because they look almost exactly the same. One has came with these gloves. Came with these 2 grading. They're just a little different. Like this one has red in the lines and this one is just all black. So I'm not sure what the difference is besides that. What else? Came with some instructions on a dual circuit desktop handheld folding magnifier. That's what that's called. Okay. In case you're Chinese. And what else? Came with a little cleaning rag. And then it also came with some latex gloves. So I guess that's everything you need to get started on grading, learning how to grade cards. But it's fun. I have a few. I bought this one online and it's not graded. So I think I'd have to take this one out. I mean, it looks, from what I'm looking at, it looks like it's not much wrong with it. So maybe the person just didn't want it. If you want to get it graded, it's still not, you know, maybe a couple $100 at the most. So it might not be worth it. I noticed this Lou Whitaker, a PSA10 was $300. So it might be worth checking this one. The other one I got was an Eric Davis. I think I saw this was PSA10, it would be $800, but pretty sure I noticed some blemishes on this one. So I really don't understand how anything's ever a PSA10. I really don't, but I'm gonna keep researching it. Ken Griffey Jr. Home, Westchester, Ohio. So anyways, that's all for today. Happy to read any comments anyone might have as far as if you have any answers to any of my questions or anything at all. So, all right, have a good day.